I'm just a regular guy who does his own research. Don't take my word to be true. Research, study, and think for yourself. If you get a dumb idea during or after this video from what I say and then do something stupid because you acted on your stupid idea, that is not my fault, okay? That is on you. Take responsibility for yourself and know what you are doing. I like the whole rule of do no harm but take no shit. It's pretty simple, so yeah. The social engineering and outright war against the, quote, free people of this planet is brutal. Done by psychopathic, sociopathic, super elitist scum. This is a small, powerful group of dedicated individuals who don't give a fuck about anyone but themselves and close-minded partners, friends, and family. This is, this world has been and is still being raped by these megalomaniacal, greedy, and evil as fuck scum. Simply just look around. People worldwide are struggling to survive every day. Starvation, okay? Poverty, war, which is just brainwashed mental images basically killing each other, and the innocents who just want to live a peaceful life over stupid ideas like, patriotism and nationalism and, like all this whole belief in my, country, which is basically just gang warfare, essentially. Like, oh, like we're all human. What the fuck? But yeah, so all across the world we see dis-ease, extreme, moderate, and mild poverty. Then the rich and super rich flaunt their shit in TVs, magazines, the internet, etc. Royal family, and even, in the streets, people come and see them and wave at them, and they wave at each other like, ridiculous. And then we got this royal family joke trash idiots, appearing on magazines and shit with their, supposed royal blood, whatever the fuck that is. And then, worldwide, there's, with their whole smug smiles of power and control waving at the people as the socially engineered billions get called off and even call themselves off with things like shitty diet, like eating meat, dairy, and eggs, like, basically, dead, tortured, innocent flesh who didn't want to die. And then, you have baby cow growth fluid, which people think is somehow tasty and necessary to drink and good, like, yeah. And then we have the whole, like most people are lactose intolerant, or not necessarily most, but many are, have different degrees of lactose intolerance due to like being adults drinking another species, adult mammals drinking another mammal species, fucking growth fluid. Like it's fucked. And then we also have chicken periods. So yeah, like basically, I'm gonna say humans are physiological, psychological herbivores. The vegan movement, on some degree, knows this truth and will only get stronger because of this fact, let alone the environmental and, of course, the massive moral reasons to be vegan. Like, I am vegan myself, if you didn't get that. I couldn't be vegan and say this shit. I'd just be I'd feel like shit for doing it, so, yeah, anyways, animals are cool and often reasonable as fuck, cats and dogs as, friends, pets is creepy and weird for me now, but as far as friendship pets, like that's cool. Like especially if they have their own door where they can come and go as they please, inside and out, and come back willingly. Like I like the idea of if you love something, set it free. Okay, if it returns, then you can hang out with it. But if it doesn't, then too bad. But you know what I mean, like that kind of philosophy where it's about being free. And if they actually are free and then choose to hang out with you because they like your company, then that should be like a beautiful thing to you. So yeah, like animals are the shit. Please don't kill or hunt them unnecessarily. I understand invasive species that are gonna kill you. There are other animals like are just not gonna be beneficial or a symbiotic or even like a decent relationship to the environment they've been introduced to, and are just like either destroying the environment or gonna fuck up mankind too because of that. Like save the bees and all that shit, save the whales. Just, we gotta fix this shit. We can't leave this shit to the kids. Say like, hey guys, sorry. We fucked up and we're lazy and let the fucking criminal scum just destroy everything and run them off with all the fucking, precious technology and knowledge and wealth and all this stuff. And we just, we're just sitting here all confused as what the fuck happened. Our planet's all banged up and, yeah, like, also, like, like when we get into this too, petroleum, plastic pollution, radiation, and any other all toxic shit in and around and on this beautiful, precious planet, like shampoo, soap, deodorant, antiperspirant, think about that shit, what it's doing to your body and to the environment. Also like the pharmaceuticals you piss out if you take those, like other things too. It's just, it's crazy. Also see, like chemical-ridden cigarettes and the poison, like alcohol and how popular that is. Like, I'm not saying alcohol is horrible. Like, yeah, I used to drink, especially excessively sometimes. I used to binge drink, and also, I used to smoke cigarettes too. So, I've been there, done that kind of shit. And it comes to, um, you know, excessive drinking. Like for me, I might have a drink maybe if something really good happened, like if we make eating animals illegal, where all over the world essentially, especially like maybe in my country or some other country, it just happens. I would maybe have like half a beer to that or something, or half some sort of sweet fruity drink maybe. I'm into that shit. But yeah, like it's just I don't know. We can't be just, thinking that it's, healthy, just be like constantly pounding and like, I used to do it excessively for a while there where I would just drink regularly for, weeks or even months on end, like, and come home from work or something and just start drinking and, wake up the next day and even go back to work and deal with the hangover the best I could, like, depending on the job I was doing. But it's ridiculous. Like, we can't be doing this to ourselves and thinking that somehow, not just ruining our mind or our body and distracting us even spiritually. Like, for me, like when I would get drunk, it just be like the bass shit would come out. I just be like, hanging out with friends, talking about meaningless shit, usually bullshit. Sometimes I'd have deep conversations drinking. Of course, I'm never going to deny that alcohol can definitely help people speak better and be more confident in their socializing. That's definitely a benefit of it. But at the same time, puking, stumbling over yourself, pissing yourself, crying, all angry or something, punching walls. Yeah, that's real cool, guys. Yeah, that's really mature human shit. So yeah, like, I know I'm in my 20s, I'm in my late 20s, so I've, obviously done that shit to some extent, obviously with my drinking, but yeah, it's ridiculous. But anyways, going on here, we have, yeah, like, alcohol and cigarettes consumed by like millions, if not billions of people regularly. It's everywhere, like fast, cheap, toxic-ridden food, toxic cigarettes, from big tobacco still linger. That hasn't died off yet, even though smokers are still dying, and there's warnings on cigarettes. That's why I think there should be warnings on meat, like, at least, and then we'll just make it illegal, because it's immoral as fuck and unnecessary. But, yeah, and alcohol is basically available nearly everywhere globally. Like, corner stores are everywhere, fast food's everywhere, while other simple, like, usually harmless plants and fungi, you'd have a hard time as fuck overdosing and dying on, like cannabis and entheogens or psychedelics. Like, obviously, I'm not gonna lie, some entheogens and psychedelics can be harmful, especially if you have a weak mind, can't handle it, or you're really spiritually lost, and it just kicks your ass spiritually, and you're like, holy shit, I fucking had a bad trip. Yeah, you had a bad trip because you're fucking lost, and it went trying to tell you something, and you probably didn't see it because you're just gonna, oh, it's bad trip, whatever, it's just my mind tripping out. But, people want to deny spirituality and say it's all bullshit or something. Like, it's kind of sad, the twisted, social engineering they've done to people as far as, oh, that's just bullshit. I choose not to look into it, so I choose not to believe. It's just like willful ignorance instead of like investigating it, like as far as empathy goes and how that, like, psychics and psiism and, UFOs and like anything else. There's so much stuff out there, like, the paranormal, supernatural stuff, like other dimensions and higher intelligences and lower intelligences and just different intelligences and, like, it's just ridiculous. So anyways, yeah, like, these drugs are kept illegal, suppressed, and there's tons of lies, myths, and fucking bullshit being spread about them in certain, outlets and stuff. And then nonsense on mainstream media. Alternative media has apparently now surpassed the mainstream media in popularity, so I hear that's good, at least depending on the country you're in, obviously. But, like, yeah, the world is waking up to the super rich elitist scum plan for basically culling and then world ownership with their UN global elite fucking suit, like, so much power in just a few hands. Like, really, guys? Yeah, good job. And that's somehow freedom, tax farm, wage and debt slavery. Like, yeah, voting for your next tax shepherd politician. What a joke. So yeah, like, wake up and say no. Basically, what this stuff is, say no to meat and dairy and eggs. Nice euphemisms. I have trouble with that fucking word, euphemisms. But yeah, it's just like, it's like things like, other things like democracy was basically just mob rule, and if 51% are stupid as fuck or distracted with their jobs or even evil or something, then good luck the other 49% dealing with that. Like, good job, that's gonna work out well. Like, I think Socrates pointed this out, centuries ago. and that's why he got fucking, basically forced to drink poison. I can't remember what kind of poison it was hemlock or what kind of plant it was from, but yeah, that was interesting as hell. Anyways, and sad too. Like it's just, and other people too. Like should I mention how about John Lennon, or JFK coming out saying some crazy shit? But I won't get into that here. I'll stay on topic. Anyways, um, see how much like nonsense and mostly meaningless choices people are given by the social engineering scum. Like, oh look, do you want a blue, pink, or red iPhone case? Or do you want a blue, pink, or red Android case? Or do you want chicken, beef, or fish for your dinner during your flight? Like fuck off with your fucking meat and fuck off with your fucking your child's bullshit choices. It's just like, ooh, do you want colors? What kind of music do you like? Oh, all kind of music. Look at all the sports we have. Look at all the little video games and, movies to watch and shit. But, like, look at all the little, like, cool little technology and toys you can play with. But, with your fidget spinners and shit. But, oh, don't ever look at that scary, crazy stuff. Those conspiracy theorists, they're nuts and all that crap. Like, fuck off. Like, conspiracies. The fact that two or more people would get together to benefit themselves and possibly, and usually to fuck other people over to some degree. Like, yeah, secrets exist, people. There's secret groups that do secret things. You'd think the world is just in this state because mankind is just a bunch of fucking idiots who don't want to just ignore the scientists, ignore all the fucking environmentalists and biologists and all this shit, trying to work and to study this shit and then say, hey guys, look what we're doing. It's killing us and the animals and the fucking environment that we need to fucking sustain our fucking life. Like, are you kidding me? So, yeah, like, it's ridiculous. So, yeah. Sorry, I didn't want to fucking get that little high-pitched voice. I'm really trying to, like, kill that and get that fucking, like, little voice crack kind of shit killed. But, yeah, anyways, like, are you kidding me? Seriously? It is fucked. So, like, yeah, like, all this fucking, and then this childish rat race of fucking, oh yeah, before that I said, like, I want knowledge, understanding, and then like the wisdom and courage to act on what's good for me and my fellow humans by knowing what is right and true, and then doing it for myself, and then from doing that I'll get the fucking courage, like through meditation and, like a deep spiritual belief in, creation and destruction, essentially, and how those things play together, and how I'm a tool of the universe, that basically, it's my choice whether I want to be a fucking creator or a maintainer or a destroyer, and then all those things combined. Like, I destroy bullshit. I'm disgusted with bullshit. A little bit of nonsense now and then, I relish. It's relished by the wisest men. I love that from Willy Wonka. But yeah, like, as far as like all this, like, wake up in a world of bullshit. We've got herbivores eating fucking meat, and we got a bunch of free people as tax farmed, socially engineered, debt and wage slaves to a bunch of fucking criminals, psychopathic criminals that crawl to the top, and they call other people, criminals. Like, they're like, criminals are somebody who just breaks the law. Like, in the aspect that I try, like, I don't break natural law or try my best not to, depending on my circumstances, obviously. Like, it's, like, for me, do no harm but take no shit, essentially. And trying to align with that philosophy is, hard on this planet when you're living in, like, depending on the country you're living in, it's like a sort of socialist democracy where you're forced to pay taxes to actual people who are breaking natural law by enslaving their own kind and enforcing bullshit down their throats with the police and military. The fear and coercion with that, and then convincing the public that they're free people. Like, it's ridiculous. So, yeah, as far as other people, like, I'm, like, done, like, fuck this child's rat race game of he who dies with the most toys wins, or live fast, die young. Like, yeah, I understand, like, toys are cool, like, vehicles are the shit, and, having a fun, fascinating, interesting life is great if you want to do extreme sports and shit. Like, I'm into that. Like, I love to try skydiving, and I love to try scuba diving and shit. But I don't even think it's extreme if you know what you're doing. Like, it's just dangerous if you're fucking stupid. Like, we have the technology to safely skydive. We have the technology to safely scuba dive. People have been doing this now for decades. And if you know what you're doing with it and have the proper training and have the mindset, stay calm in case something fucks up, then, yeah, you should be fine. And if in case something bad happens majorly and it kills you, then shit happens, and at least you probably died doing what you love. But, yeah, so, anyways, like, my favorite thing about this whole bullshit social engineering thing is YOLO. Oh, you only live once. Like, yeah, these bodies are mortal. They do die, obviously. But at the same time, like doing that YOLO thing to justify doing something fucking stupid and dangerous as fuck. Like, oh, I'm gonna throw myself down some stairs. YOLO. Yeah. Good job. I love these people that do this shit because they're entertaining as hell, and I can sit there and watch these montages on YouTube or even sometimes on the fucking mainstream media bullshit where it's just like, hey, look at all the stupid people that we've socially engineered to do this shit instead of fucking like, you know, having some fucking like, obviously when you're young too, I completely understand people wanting to, you know, like do silly stupid things and take risks and try out, see how gravity works and how well you can try to defy it and shit. That's fun, obviously, you know, but at the same time, like this whole internet fame fad thing is just pathetic. Trying to go like viral by, you know, doing fucked up shit, and people like even are just doing things they think are normal and healthy. Like I won't name any names, but there's people out there, for example, that like eating raw, rotting meat and dead, baby hearts and shit. Dead baby cow hearts and shit that have been rotting on the shelf for, you know, maybe a couple months or several months. Won't name any names, but yeah, like it reminds me of like, you know, a milk jar sitting on a counter next to some some like sitting in the sun, and then like, you know, it's ridiculous, so it's disgusting, but and then like it's fucked up. But anyways, like uh yeah, like rotten milk in the sun, just disgusting. Let alone rotten meat sitting on the counter, or even in the fridge. Like, no, thank you. Like that shit smells disgusting. That should tell you that most people don't eat that shit until like carnists cook their meat and try to like make it more tender and let it like cure by letting it rot for a bit and then season and salt the fuck out of it and usually cover it with, you know, vegetables and fruit and other like grains and shit. You know, like a hamburger, for example, or a steak, you know, with sauce on it, and then like, yeah, meat and potatoes. But yeah, like it's pathetic. So yeah, like no wonder uh, a tiny fraction of people kill each other. Yeah, no wonder. Like this world's so fucking crazy. Like I don't find it surprising that a tiny fraction of people either kill themselves or snap out and shoot each other and kill each other. Like, you know, I won't go into the whole like, some people like, you know, the whole trauma-based mind control sleeper slaves that come out and do these like false flag attacks. That I won't deny. I know that happens, but there's also people that just are all mentally fucked up from the chemicals they've been exposed to, and loving it's probably the cognitive dissonance of being a free tax farm slave, and then also a animal lover who eats animals. Like, you know, oh, I love, you know, my cats and dogs and my hamsters and gerbil and some of my tropical fish and all that stuff. And but, you know, fuck cows, chickens, and pigs, because let's fuck them up at least, because they taste good, and you know, everybody else is doing it and appeal to all these fallacies, logical fallacies, and then like of course it's the really nice apathy and nihilism, like, yeah, the world's gonna die anyways and all this shit. And yeah, so mankind has been mind fucked. It's really quite sad. Like, you know, I know I laugh at it too, but it's also sad. Like, it's not funny at the end of the day. It's sad. People are dying, animals are dying. Like right now, people are dropping dead from heart attacks, you know, strokes. You know, there's like just excessive amount of abortions going on where we can almost like, if we have people like waking up and then bringing more life into this planet and telling them the truth about what's going on, it could actually just really change things. But instead they're just like calling off themselves, and which is, you know, I think in a way is also a good thing though too, because I'm glad I wasn't born in a family that wouldn't want me or couldn't afford me or some shit in the system where it's just like I would have been malnourished and mistreated and unloved and hated probably, and then, well, it would have turned me into a secondary psychopath, because I probably would have just gone, fuck it, this world is corrupt and evil, I'll be evil and corrupt too, harm has been done to me, so I'll do harm to others. That kind of like twisted ideology and mindset that people can fall into, that rabbit hole of like thinking evil is good and good is evil kind of thing or whatever. Like it's sad, like, oh, the weak, you know, social Darwinism kind of thing, and just moral relativism without accepting, or even even if they see natural law and how it plays out when you do harm and take shit, how you get repercussions for that. It can, because you're breaking natural law essentially. Like, you know, that's where like taking shit and doing harm justly, you know, if you do it for a purpose or whatever, like a higher purpose, that, you know, that's good, or it can be good essentially, you know what I mean? But at the same time though, like, keep in mind that the road to hell is paved with good intentions, you know, like people, like the Nazi soldiers thought they were doing a good thing because the Jews were all like a bunch of evil, conniving people, which I won't deny the whole conspiracy, interesting mind manipulation thing there with the whole Zionism and stuff like that. That's very interesting, but at the same time, killing a bunch of little kids and, like just farmers and, hard workers who just, trying to live their life and just happen to be, fallen into the trap of, the actual theological sort of, pagan twisted history of Judaism and shit and all that stuff. I'm not sure exactly how Judaism all comes from, but I know it's basically all tied into that whole Abrahamic religion thing. But yeah, like it's crazy. Yeah, man has been mind fucked along with the pharmaceutical holocaust. Like I think it's brutal, like convincing people that these drugs like on permanent saturation are healthy. Like I'll never like say that some drugs have saved lives for sure. This happens regularly. Like it's people do get their lives saved because certain drugs in the hospital they get introduced and it stops it from killing them. Essentially, I'm getting to that. But yeah, dosing the body daily with powerful synthetic or even natural drugs is not healing or health. I think like healing is for me. For them, it's a business to make a permanent customer through drug dependence. It often creates a deeper dependence on the same drug, or starts dependence on other drugs to usually cover up the side effects of the first drug. For me, it's sad and destructive. This practically literally kills people. This practice literally kills people, like mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical killing. It makes them unfeeling, barely thinking zombies, capable of the most basic and capable of only the most basic and simple tasks, like go to work, wait in line at the grocery store, works can be like really simple, just like paper pushing or whatever. Like there's so many simple, easy jobs out there just to keep the system going. Just wait in line at the store and stoplight, going slowly back and forth throughout their day, and then eat a meal of death and disease, because most people, think eating meat is healthy, necessary, natural, moral. Somehow they're trying to, of course, people are struggling with that with the vegan movement, telling them to stop it. But yeah, like they go sit and stare at a screen for several hours, getting entertained, maybe like laughing at it, or and then glancing back down at their phones, of course, too. Like the smartphones are just ridiculous nowadays. I know I got a bad habit of glancing at mine to see if the light is up and see if I got a message or some shit, but I'm getting better at killing that and just making it like so I control it. And then they drink alcohol and smoke cigarettes too, usually, and get mad at meaningless or the wrong things, like raging out over losing in their sport team losing, or video game that doesn't really matter, like it's another games, like any game, like they get mad at games, like little distraction, ball moving around or trying to kill the enemy or whatever it is, and they just rage at it. Like I used to be the same way, like I still do when I die in Call of Duty and stuff. Like I still play that for nice escapes or distraction, and plus of course the broadcast on YouTube too. But yeah, like they're tax farmed as fuck. The masses, oh wait, sorry, here it is. I missed something here. They go to bed and get mad at meaningless and the wrong things. Go to bed and rise and repeat. Days off from the willing wage, dead slavery. It's just more screen staring usually. Or they take a short, pathetic break somewhere, maybe travel the world, they can afford it, maybe go camping or something, and sit around basically and look at the trees, and then maybe look at their phones probably and talk to each other about, other meaningless small dribble, and try to just deny the fact that they're tax farmed, unhealthy sheep, and try to dance around the fact how unhealthy and it's banged up, like usually they are, and if the world is, how polluted things are, and how there's angry people walking around all the time, and just childish bullshit everywhere, and then they go to bed, and then, yeah, I'm missing something here, yeah, the tax farm just fucked the masses, justifying it with having shitty hospitals full of bacteria, the roads and the hospitals and the police and the firefighters, what would we do without them? Like, somehow society wouldn't figure that out, like honestly, I would live, if this happened and we all, finally, go, full anarchy as far as no rulers, no masters, everyone gets on the same basic level of morals, and goes vegan and just embraces everybody has a basic right to life and liberty and to be left alone and all this shit, as long as they do no harm but take no shit, don't poison the well, the environment, and, if you're spreading lies and bullshit, then we'll call you out on it if we figure it out, that kind of society. So it's just, a little more morals, you don't be oh, super golly Jesus, but just a little bit decent, just a little bit more, so we're able to, have the balls to say something when it needs to be said, and do something that needs to be done, get together and, cooperative groups, or by yourself, and, whatever, again, opening to mind things The Supernatural show, those two brothers go around and just kick ass, killing bad and evil entities and trying to save the world from hell, basically encroaching in and trying to take over the fucking this earth. And then like other movies too, like Transformers comes to mind, and like Star Wars and shit, and Star Trek, and like all these beautiful things that can be twisted and manipulated, of course, to be evil and stuff, obviously, but at the same time you can see it for what it is, and it's just people trying to do the right thing for their own kind, and follow the path of like truth and understanding and compassion and severity when necessary. So yeah, like the shitty hospitals again are full of bacteria, incompetent and careless employees, ignorant, indoctrinated doctors and surgeons who only know how to slash and burn the human body when disease comes. And also some of them are even like sadists and psychopaths who actually just enjoy killing people here and there just to fucking, just go die and reincarnate, it's okay kind of philosophy or their ideology there. But they can, like, at the hospital, I'm not going to deny they can stitch you up pretty good, but good luck with the chemo or radiation or the pharmaceutical treatments. Like, those can do save lives here and there, but at the same time they kill millions globally. People thinking of this, like, just like somehow killing the body and making it weaker instead of nourishing it, and finding out the root cause of the disease caused by like dis-ease, like you're not easing into life, you're stressing out, you're eating a shitty diet, you're addictions, workaholism, like just, we're human beings, not human doings, not human thinkings, we're human beings, okay? So, yeah, we're gonna get lost here again. So I'm reading a page here if you guys didn't realize that already. I'm not saying those things, can't work for certain circumstances, those like treatments, but at the same time, it's not healthy, but to be chemically bombarded daily to treat something that's probably caused by being a herbivore that eats meat, and the cognitive dissonance in most cases of like loving cats and dogs, but also thinking, let's fuck up some cows, chickens, and pigs because they taste good, bacon, and leather is nice, on like couches and chairs and shit. And then that with the, and then of course like the cognitive dissonance of being a tax farm sheep, and thinking you're free at the same time. Well, the world gets worse, the government doesn't do what you want, and somehow you're thinking the next politician will save you, so you vote still. Like, ridiculous. That with the pollution, radiation, social media, smartphone bullshit news campaign, like, and then the electromagnetic fields created by electric anything, really, like, depending on what it is. I'm not saying all that stuff's bad or good or whatever, I'm not too sure and all this stuff, but I know it affects us, and it's kind of like an experiment going on right now to see what it's doing to people, like, as far as the cancer increases with the smartphone and cell phone users or whatever, like, is interesting. But yeah, like, the bullshit news campaigns globally with the governments and their the fascist corporate sponsorship media bullcrap campaign. Like, no wonder most people are all banged up inside and out. Like, I kind of chuckle there, but it's sad. Like, I can only sort of laugh at it. It's so ridiculous and crazy that I can't just like become obsessed with it to the point of saying, it's so horrible and bad. Like, I gotta laugh it off, like water off a duck's back kind of thing eventually. So, yeah, you gotta think or hide doing this shit for sure. But here's what I found out so far to help heal yourself, and your friends, family, the animals, and the environment. Learn about the leading causes of death, worldwide, like abortion, heart disease, cancer, doctor and hospital mistakes, obesity, the like enforcement of like wrong diagnosis and false diagnosis of people saying, you're crazy, essentially, you have a mental illness because you're born into a world that's run by criminal elite scum that wants you to conform to their fucking system that basically turns you into a socially engineered tax farm, wage slave, carnage sheep who's unhealthy, and they're trying to kill you off too, so they can keep your population low enough that they can do what they want with you. And they don't want a large slave race, they want a fucking small slave race. They don't want billions of slaves, they want, a couple billion maybe, or maybe even less than that, depending on where you look. So, and of course these criminals are having wars with each other. That's why we have the gang wars essentially right now too, on some level too. Like, it's not just, that's why it's breaking down the freedom fighters versus like the gangs versus each other. Like, the cults kill like these, like the cults and these gangs essentially that are formed by this stuff. They kill their own kind too. It's like a fucking dominance base. Like, you try to challenge the leader by to a duel sometimes, or a sacrifice and some shit. Like, it's crazy. So the whole hierarchy thing and the whole negative hell regions quote, and mindsets of the world, are very real, and these people do this shit to themselves and to each other. So learn about what's most likely to kill you, like is, like in America, you're more likely to be killed by a cop than a terrorist. Like I think it's like 1,000 people get killed a year by cops, or I think it's probably more than that, maybe even a couple thousand. Where with um, terrorists, it's actually like a couple, like maybe like 5 or 6 people actually die from terrorists in America, and I think that changes obviously, of course, depending on if there's like a false flag attack, terrorist attack, or it's just some, like 20, like the Las Vegas attack, 23 guns guy, seriously, in a hotel room, who like with like those supposedly the best military and police in the world can't detect a fucking gun being fired from a window in Las Vegas, like, and this is just going to result in a whole bunch of more fucking crackdown on security and freedom in that either in that city or in that country or not country state even too. Like, come on. So uh, yeah, and then don't get me started on religion. Like, I touched on religion, I don't think before, but like right now religion is really fucking people up, like the astrotheology and pagan sex worship history of most religions, along with this whole joke of a spiritual revolution where people just do simple low-level meditations for a few minutes a day, and maybe do some yoga, and like maybe go vegan a bit or some shit, or vegetarian. I think they're somehow all enlightened because they fucking just deny reality and just try to meditate away the bad feelings about how fucked up their world is, and they are too, and their friends and family, and there's, oh, everything's okay, just meditate. Yeah, real good job, guys, yeah. Like, I meditate too, I need to do it daily. I do power meditations and invoke, certain elemental energies to really ground myself, or to really, like, depending on what I'm trying to do with my mind or body at the time, like, I'm trying to be like in a permanent state of meditation where I'm always trying to, like, have a deeper mindset, be aware of what I'm saying and thinking and doing. So, yeah, that's why we're trying to slow down things too, instead of just spilling out my words, but, yeah, like, people thinking that real spiritual people as herbivores eating meat 3 times a day, like spiritual carnism. Are you kidding me? Spiritual meat eaters. Oh yeah, it's so spiritual. Like, let the cow or the deer or the fucking pig or chicken live a second life by me consuming its dead, tortured, innocent flesh. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I can understand if an animal comes up to you and puts its head on the chopping block or puts its head next to the bolt gun and says, please kill me. Like, and it's like, and then you got like an animal psychic there saying, yeah, it wants to die and be eaten by you or some shit, even to like some deep, trippy, weird thing where the cow wants to like, sacrifice itself, dude. Hopefully that I can reincarnate again as a human, maybe, or some shit, like deep trippy shit. Like, that's interesting, but that is like that's not gonna happen really. So all that, like, usually, like, all life wants to live unless it's, that interesting thing it just said. So, like, what the fuck are you doing as a herbivore eating fucking meat? Like, and then people go, oh, deer will eat a baby bird. I saw that video on YouTube. Well, good job, yeah, appeal to fucking nature, yeah. Animals also are cannibals, sniff each other's butts, eat shit, like, the whole animal kingdom is full of fucking, like, incest and cannibalism and rape and murder. Like, you want to live in a society that people just want to appeal to fucking nature fallacies like that? Yeah, good job, guys. Yeah, that's really fucking smart. So, just don't appeal to fucking logical fallacies as far as stupid things like morals and stuff, and like what is healthy and just and environmentally sustainable and not and either healthy or destructive towards yourself and others. Like, herbivores eating meat will never work. You're not going to evolve to somehow, be able to eat meat and not get fucking atherosclerosis and all that shit from the high cholesterol, saturated fat, trans fat, the heme iron, and the oxidative stress that, increases or, helps the cause or whatever, and then let alone all the bacteria and viruses and parasites that you're subjecting yourself to, whether they're dead or alive, your body still responds to them in the same way, so it gets inflamed because it's on a small, cellular level that basically causes, the body doesn't, see that if it's alive or dead, it just detects it and goes, holy shit, this is a parasite or bacteria or a virus. Everybody, red alarms, let's fight this. And then along with the cholesterol, saturated trans fat in your bloodstream, along with like everything else, like the no fiber, so your poor intestines are trying to deal with no fiber, like people that eat just a big ton of meat, and then having like a good time on the toilet later on. Yeah, good job, guys. Like, it's pathetic and it's sad. Like, it's ridiculous. So that's what happens. Social engineering scum and twisted people, and then just kept reinforcing the logical fallacies throughout history. Just continue to promote this whole idea of dominance. Like, Like people this, this whole logical fallacy that the scientists have been saying for decades now, smart people, and even like it's been there the whole time, like people thinking it's wrong to eat and kill, but we need to do it to survive because other animals do it basically, and we can do it because we got big brains and we can sharp tools and all this shit, and yeah, I don't get into that here, but yeah, so it's, um, yeah, like, they're basically people are socially engineered, tax farmed, wage, debt slaves who also are certified to be allowed to live here with a birth certificate. Like, they get permission from a big daddy government to drive, get married, own a gun, use a harmless plant to heal medical conditions. Now that's getting, changed, of course, but then these people call themselves free and independent who choose their life path. Like, pfft, yeah, real good people, yeah, real good and free, yeah, like, pfft. and then, like, and then going back to the licensing thing, like, I'm not saying, like, fishing and hunting is moral or healthy or environmentally sustainable or any of that shit. Like, you shouldn't hunt or fish, I think. That's just fucked. If you like fish, go scuba diving and see them in their natural environment. And if you like hunting, just go watch them with binoculars, you fucking psycho. So, and if you want to see their, like, and if you like their skulls, their heads in your wall, then if they see them, then, like, try to see them, like, die naturally, or maybe if they, um, if some wolves come and kill one, maybe scare the wolves off, chop off its head, and then run away with the head and let the wolves come back or something. Like, just trying to, like, you know what I mean? Be reasonable and decent about your interests in the environment, and then, like, realize that there's tons of things, like, if, like, skulls and deer heads and shit, then you can, just don't support the fucking innocent murder of animals. Like, try to do it in a healthy way, work out into nature, and if you ask the universe and, like, try to, like, act upon it towards what you want, and if you do no harm and take no shit in your pursuit of it, then you will, eventually sooner or later come across it in some way. Like, do you actually need an actual cow skull on your wall, or do you just want a picture of it? You know what I mean? So get some fucking morals, get some, some environmental sustainability and non-destructive behavior going on and choices in your life as far as what you buy and what you do. Snap the fuck out of this, this fucking psychopathic, nihilistic, apathetic, blind, lost, evil, criminal elite scum, social engineering bull crap. And like so yeah, get your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health back by taking control of yourself and life. And people only want to get rich of you. So if you're looking for like not help or heal you, so study up yourself and on your condition and find a true healer if you're like mentally or physically or emotionally, spiritually ill. Like just meditate and fucking change your diet and change your lifestyle and quit that shitty job and if someone's beating you in your life or whatever, like, there's tons of free data online and good people willing to help you for cheap or even free sometimes, depending on where you look. So yeah, like, I suggest you study, read, and think for yourself, recognize the things in your life that no longer serve you in any productive way. If you realize your friends and your friends or habits, etc., or family or lovers are not helping you or anyone, and maybe distracting you or preventing you from your dreams and goals, then figure out how to deal with that. I myself have made sacrifices just to get where I am. I sacrifice friendship, love, happiness, and comfort in my pursuit of truth. Of myself, about who and what I am, and my pursuit of the outside truth of what's happening on this planet. So yeah, I have dropped smoking and drinking. Like, you can't have it all sometimes if you really want something as quickly as you think you can have it. You know, how can you be a healthy, fit person who's also extremely lazy with a cheap, shitty, processed diet and self-destructive addictions like smoking or alcoholism? I'm not trying to divide friends, family, and lovers up here, and faces can be a necessary part of our spiritual growth out of this shit we were born into most likely, but I want people to see sometimes if you want something bad enough, you might just have to drop other things. We only have 2 hands and 2 feet. I know I can only juggle so many things at once. Between myself, my spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical health, my work, my hobbies, my recreation, my relationships with others, etc., I can't have people in my life that only serve to anger, frustrate, depress me. I can't have habits that only weaken me, make me sick, or put me at risk to distress or disease, and put me at risk to dis-ease. Like stressing, and then dis-ease into life, so I'm done with bullshit essentially, and since this world is full of it, this is why I'm making this YouTube channel and stuff, of course, but, I have my website and blog, but yeah, with herbivores driving meat in their belly 3 times a day, they wonder when they're sick, and sick and diseased and all this stuff, and then being lazy as fuck, all stressed out from work, thinking, why are they all confused going to doctors for their pills? Like, it's It's sad. And then having free people, and then of course these free people, most of them as tax farm, debt wage slaves, having fallen from multiple frauds by the fascist government, creating a real democracy, which is just basically mob rule again, like I think I've said before. I also just want to say that being and going vegan can be easy or tricky depending on your circumstances. I find it easy and cheap and fun to go vegan. I still eat lots of raw and cooked, and like I still eat lots of raw food, like not like, like apples and stuff, and yams and potatoes. Like I try to go organic, of course, and that's a little more expensive, but for me it's worth it for my health and just for my energy levels I feel and how good I feel eating this stuff, and then supporting hopefully like what should be more sustainable things. But I know like organic still sprays their stuff with fucking animal feces too, which is fucked from the feed farms or food farm or fucking factory farms. But yeah, like I buy in bulk, or buying in bulk is a good idea. Beans, lentils, seeds, healthy, non-GMO grains, and everything else really. Peas, vegetables, and fruit are often cheap, and if they aren't, think about this. Like, what is your health worth to you? You want to have good energy, clear focus thinking, or little like early morning wake up grogginess, etc. What about the financial, emotional, mental, and spiritual cost of being sick or dying? Like having to accept that you're not going to be here to see your loved ones or anymore, or leaving people. Going back to source and all that stuff. If you're spiritual or not spiritual or into that stuff, I understand. Believe what you want, but for me, I've fully known now this reality is basically not what we've been told it is, and I know that there is an afterlife and all that stuff. There is an other world and other dimensions and mental, emotional, and astral realms of being. How they all play into this base physical realm, like how it all trickles down into this physical shit. There's a spiritual realm too, like you're not in. Like, it doesn't get spiritual when you die. You're in the spiritual realm now. But yeah, anyways, also learn about the legal name fraud is. Once again, the legal name fraud, Federal Reserve banking, and fiat currency fraud. How cops, military, judges, and lawyers use the language of legalese to confuse and control the ignorant population. Like, do you understand or stand under me? Like the way cops say, do you understand? Look into that. I also highly recommend you look into hemp or cannabis being used for fuel, clothing, medicine, shelter, and construction. Also, like the way herbs and stuff, minerals and stuff can really help heal and cleanse and detoxify the human body. With lots of, drinking water too is really good. I kind of mix it up. I should say that earlier with the whole vegan thing, and changing diet. Also look into community-owned and open-source sites and software for networking and information, etc. 3D printing and CNC milling is very good and powerful if you know how to use it. Also, gold, silver, and cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin are going to basically be used to shrug off what we had before with the whole fiat currency fraud, Federal Reserve government crap currency, and it's just going to eventually, as long as it's going to just keep inflating and all getting all banged up because it's just owned by the fucking criminals. The criminals own the money system, so they introduced it long ago, and you convince the people that it's necessary and it's going to be it's going to work and shit, and now it's not working. That's why the economy is all banged up and people are confused about why the economy fails, because the economy runs on the currency of fucking criminal fucking fiat currency joke, fraud, Federal Reserve shit. So they just print off money when they want. It's their tool. It's in their pocket. It's not like people think money is power. No, money is just their tool now that they use for power. Also look at the amazing technology Nicola Tesla created decades ago, like tapping into the Earth's electromagnetic field for, quote, free energy. Basically, energy that won't run out because the Earth, the Earth's electromagnetic field just won't run out until the Earth gets destroyed or burns out or consumed by the sun expanding or whatever, or burned up or whatever the future of this universe holds as far as on this physical plane. But yeah, also the wireless and electrical energy transmission that Nicola developed with his Tesla coils and shit, and how he can it's interesting. I think Nicola Tesla coils are kind of different, but I know he developed wireless electrical energy transmission with they're coming out with now slowly. Look, we can wirelessly charge your fucking phone. Yeah. Not telling people they could have fucking been powering the world with this shit, for cheap and really worldwide. We could have had power for everybody. And Africa wouldn't be in the shit that it's been hit. Africa's been hit economically, that's why, and raped for resources and human slavery too. That's where they go for a lot of their bullshit. These fucking psychos for multiple slavery and resources. and it's sad, but anyways, like actual physical slaves, not just like mind-controlled, willing slaves that think they're free even though they're not being, like these, I'm talking about like people that are raped, like child sex slaves, and then human adult slaves, and then turned into like mind-controlled slaves for, sex, of course, and then like entertainment, entertain the masses, and then of course the whole, staff and shit too of their enemies, so yeah, um, we got like electric vehicles and other amazing things like Nikola Tesla's and like Elon Musk's work on obviously things like solar, geothermal, wave, and tidal control too are amazing and cool, useful too. Study how the enemy thinks, look into the nine satanic sins like stupidity and solipsism and all that stuff, and like I think like willful denial of reality. It's like a sin essentially. Like that's what I think is just like looking at the truth and it's not, and then not accepting it, saying, oh, don't focus on it, don't look at it too much, or like you'll get obsessed or whatever. It's like I look at the shit and deal with it. I'm not gonna fucking just it's not there. Just go get a job, go to work, get a wife, settle down. Yeah, those things are nice, but doing like good work that you actually enjoy, and then fucking having like an intelligent wife you can respect and love. It's also less free as fuck, and then raising kids who can think for themselves too, and everybody is free individuals and not just a bunch of tax farmed, collectivist sheep. But yeah, like look into the whole sorry we got lost here. Study how the enemy thinks. Yeah, moral relativism, denial or bending of natural law, social Darwinism, survivalism, eugenics, and epi-eugenics. Once again, eugenics, U-E-U-G-E-N-I-C-S, and epi-eugenics, E-P-I dash E-U-G-E-N-I-C-S. Yeah, like, understand the basic, like, that's how they're calling people that commits them to kill themselves off with good blood, like, oh, you're bad blood, you got bad genetics, so just don't breed. Like, oh, the whole genetics argument, oh, bad genetics, that's what everybody's falling for now, genes and blood type and all this bullshit. But yeah, I understand the basic occult philosophies and sciences and how they're basically extensions onto the regular sciences. Quantum physics is bridging the gap between normal and paranormal facts in this universe, like particle wave theory and the observer effect. Look into the governments and groups these sociopathic psychopaths also use to manipulate the masses, such as the Tavistock Institute of Human Relations, the Bilderberg Group, the Club of Rome, the Council on Foreign Relations, the United Nations, the CIA, etc., etc. Basically, it trickles down to all fucking, like, worldwide. It's just a joke. Yeah, like, fucking, yeah. Last but not least is the very important and precious, beautiful planet, and it's the environment that sustains us. Like this beautiful planet and the environment and the ecology and the animals. Like we need to clean, heal, and protect our precious Mother Earth and our cool, cute, sometimes dangerous and deadly big creatures and plant life like think of the elephant or the giraffe or the whales, guys. The dolphins are so cool. So yeah, from the bottom of the darkest oceans to the highest peaks. From the wide open prairies of light and sun to the gloomy, dim, humid rainforests, the dry, different tundras to the deserts, to the swamps, islands, and rivers, lakes, and streams. Sorry for sounding redundant a little bit there, but I really want to enforce like all the different parts of this beautiful planet. Let's work together to fix our world up and leave a legacy of compassion, understanding, love, peace, harmony, friendship, cooperation, truth, and courage for all life on this planet, both human, animals, and plant. As Optimus Prime said, freedom is the light of all sentient life. And as Allah said in the Quran, as to those who reject faith, I will punish them with terrible agony in this world and in the hereafter, nor will they have anyone to help. Just kidding. Got you. The Islamic ideology is dangerous and stupid as fuck, and that is, it creates masters and slaves, and then apologists, and people paying lip service, and people too afraid to speak up to the truth. That is fucking insane, and basically, extreme Islamic beliefs, not the people, the beliefs, okay? I'm attacking a belief system that these people have, that think is somehow, this religion and belief system is somehow moral and, justified and, true, where it's just basically a fucking warlord rising up and convincing a bunch of people to be a bunch of masters and slaves, and he's the ruler of them all, and he's working with the God who sees over this world. What a joke you guys have fallen for. So yeah, extreme Islamic beliefs are, dangerous and stupid, people blowing themselves up. Are you kidding me? And of course, the social engineers fuel this belief system, and then they fucking, whether they fucking, anger the fucking extremists who are already doing this stuff. And then they also just fund them too. Go in there the country and say, hey guys, we support you. Here's a bunch of bombs and grenades and training and shit. Like, are you kidding me? Here's how to brainwash people and then infiltrate other countries and societies. Like, just stupid, childish fucking warfare and bullshit. Like, we're all human. I don't give a fuck what your skin color is or what you look like. If you're a decent human being who does no harm but takes no shit, then, I'll respect you at least, and we can even be friends. Like, so yeah. Islam was basically what Christianity was just a few centuries ago until Christianity eventually just sort of like accepted the fact that other people won't tolerate them being a bunch of fucking morons. And even now we still see Christians, extremists, with like the Baptist church, whatever the fuck that is, like the Westboro Baptist church, those fucking lunatics. And then we have like the fucking Christian extremists killing innocents and stuff like that. Like, we still see it. So, the whole abortionist thing, and like, the whole abortion thing, I won't get into right now, but I will say that, it's a balance between life and choice. It's her body, but it's also innocent life she's killing, that she holds the door to essentially to creating that life between her legs. And if she decides to just say, fuck it, let the guy, blow his load inside of her, and then, she's not responsible to make sure he wears a condom, and then even, like, take other precautions too, to, respect her body and herself and the life that is possibly growing inside her now, that started that, there's a soul potentially wanting to come into this world and try it out. Like, are you kidding me? Just killing that shit off, just blindly, and not taking, like, I understand if you do it, like, if you're raped or something, then that's totally understandable. I'm not gonna, that's why it's about choice and understanding the balance, and, like, it's about individuality and understanding and taking responsibility for what you're doing. Like, abortion isn't just a joke, and neither is anything else in this life. Everything revolves around an innocent life, and suffering and death. So, yeah, like, going back with religion, the mind games done with religion, it's sad and ridiculous and kind of funny too, but it's dangerous. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, extreme Islam is no joke, and neither is extreme Christianity or any other extreme belief system. Like, even going back to extreme dark Satanism and dark Luciferian, dark occultist beliefs, where people think that it's just, they believe in killing, or they believe in whatever they want to believe in, with moral relativism and social Darwinism and their belief system saying, I'm right, you're wrong, go die. Like, that's, in some way, I say this kind of stuff, like, the carnists die off because of their dietary choices. That's true, that's natural law working. That's not me saying, like, in a way I might even want to help natural law to do its thing, but at the same time, like, I like doing no harm and taking no shit. So yeah, but yeah, it comes down to mental images, basically, growing adult bodies, fearing and worshipping an ideology, God, essentially, like, thinking that somehow this book is the only ultimate truth and everything else is bullshit, and, like, it's just sad and dangerous, and that's why these people are culling themselves off, too, thinking, like, waiting for death, living a half-life, waiting to die, like Christians wait a half-life, waiting to die, and Islamics live a half-life waiting to die, and so do other people, too, waiting to die. Are these death cults, sort of death religions, mindsets, where they have, like, dead people on sticks as their religion, or they have, like, like, of course, the astral theological worship as their thing, to, like, the zodiac cross and the fucking moons and the planets and stars and stuff. Like, it's fascinating. But yeah, so yeah, mental images and growing adult bodies, fearing and worshiping and praying to and giving up their life and just living a half-life, waiting that it'll get spiritual after I die. I'll be in heaven after I die. This is just a fallen world. I can't do nothing about it. Like, yeah, it's sad. But anyways, everyone, this is hard. If we just take steps to shift the things that can educate, heal, and strengthen us and motivate us to help others, and this will raise us all up together. This is about getting everyone on some basic level of awareness about how everyone has been fooled by lazy and distracted, and has been fooled by being lazy and distracted while crooks crept into control. So get your health, morals, and life back by taking steps today to improve yourself and your world. Enjoy your day, everyone. Peace, understanding, compassion, love, vegan anarchy, or anarchony for the win. Voluntarism, essentially. All human interaction should be voluntary. So yeah, comment, like, share, and subscribe for more. And hopefully this wasn't too long, because I know I can ramble on. Holy shit, it was an hour. Alright.